Welcome peeps and freaks, ladies and gents, to another Hearthstone game. Today we got a different variant of a Jade Druid. I know I've put a lot of different Jade Druid variants up in the past week or month or so, but this one I think is the most refined version that you're going to find at the moment, because it sort of plays to verse everything, I guess you could say. Against the aggro, usually you want to put in more innovates, and against the control decks, usually you want to hold back on the innovates and just have the wild growths. So you're sort of hedging your bets either way on that one, so we only got one innovate. The wild growth obviously stays in there because that's an incredible card. Two nourishes as always for card draw. You've also got the Azure Drake in there as well for card draw. I guess if you want to use the Rafts as well, that's another bit of card draw. So there's really a lot of cycling in the deck. Vandal obviously a must have, and Druid of the Claw obviously is a really nice addition as well, because that extra taunt is really what you need to outlast those aggro decks when it comes to, like, you know what, turn 8, turn 7. It's really nice to have. Also, another thing to mention is the mulch in the deck. The mulch is really good against Warlocks, I guess, in particular, Handlock, because if they drop a Twilight Drake on turn 4 or a Mountain Giant on turn 4, because you're still trying to build up your ramp. It's the one card, apart from Naturalize, really, that Druid has that can really take down that stuff so early. Another deck to mention is probably Miracle Rogue, where they build up their Questing Adventures and the Edwin Van Cleaves. So the mulch is actually really nice to have against those guys as well. So, after the rundown of the deck, let's get into some games. Against the Hunter. It's the first Hunter I've seen in a long time. So this would be the perfect hand with the coin. You coin the 3 and then into the 4. You know what, it's still a crazy hand. You can play the Jade Idol turn 1. We can't guarantee we're going to get a Wild Growth or an Innovate if we throw any of this back. So we'll just keep it. If he does play something that we can hero power down, it's also a nice use of our 2 mana. Then we can always play Jade Blossom into Jade Spirit. We might float a mana with the Jade Spirit because we'll have 5. But then we can also play this guy nicely on turn 6. Didn't get anything. That's a pretty dead turn for us, but I don't think it's the worst. Give a random beast in your hand, +2/+2. So weird, have to read all the Hunter cards because I never see them being played.
Such big teeth I have.
So now we'll build up our 2/2 and go face. Pretty straightforward. Like, it's just such a steamrolly effect if you can build up your Jades early.
Tonight, a tale of terrible tragedy. I dream the world.
No way. I mean, swipe doesn't seem that bad here, but we can't finish off this 3/2 that comes out. Now, I think I have to swipe here because his board just trades incredibly well with this guy. He trades the 3/4 into the 2/3, and then the 3/1 trades into the 3/3. He's got his board, then he builds up a bigger board. It's just, just doesn't look too good for us. So I'm going to go face. There was some thought to trade this into the 3/2 so I can Jade Spirit Wrath next turn. But he might want to trade that in himself as well. I might want to use this Wrath for 3 if he plays something a little bit bigger, because we do have the Nourish in our hands. So we'll keep this guy going face. That's very bad. After we've just used our swipe, he plays that minion. I think I'm gonna play this and go face. The good thing about this is it actually only has 3 attack. It's better that it only has 3 attack here, because it means you won't be able to get the rats to come out yet. Because we don't want to proc this guy yet, because we're gonna have a hard time dealing with that after just using our swipe. Yeah, like me, I kept going through my head if it was good to use Fandral Wrath there to kill this guy and then run the run 1 into a rat. But I don't think it was. Wow, I really wish I didn't use that swipe now. I think it was still the right play to use the swipe against the Sarah on that turn though. Okay. This doesn't even look that look like that bad for us, honestly.
For the wild.
We need to use it here to proc this guy so that we can, so that he can't actually trade into this 4/4. I mean, obviously all these rats can still trade into this 4/4, but it's a lot hard. Like, it's a bit more annoying for him. It's okay if it's not going towards our face. Oh, I don't think that's correct, mate. You've already seen one swipe out of me. Why do you want to go? Why do you want to trade there? I don't understand that. I think we just nourish here. Way too greedy to wait to combo the nourish with the Fandral, I think. That extra 2 mana that I'll get from comboing, I don't think it's going to come into not going to come in handy. And now we do hero power one of these guys down. Just because the Fandral Wrath combo gives me that extra bit of damage that I might need. Also, next turn I can get Fandral Wrath Fell Rage to get super value out of the Fandral. Now he's being aggressive. He sort of switched up his game plan halfway through this game. A little bit weird. This is happening 100%.
Where shall I strike?
And I don't think there's any point in trading here. Deadly Shot, it doesn't matter if I trade. Multi-Shot doesn't matter if I trade. Ysera Awakens, I guess it was the same. We just got an extra bit of damage on face. So we just play this Ancient of War and play Feral Rage. I guess it is a control deck. I have to consider that Deadly Shot is really a card. I think purely because of Deadly Shot, I'm going to play Nourish, Wrath, and Feral Rage. Yeah, I like this a little bit more. And we're going to innovate out the Jade Idol to get a bit of pressure on board. I'm not concerned about not having the Jade Idols in my deck. I don't need to shuffle them in. The game isn't going to come to the point where we're going to go to fatigue. I do need to start pushing a bit of pressure as well. Because I don't have so much healing in my deck. I've only got the 2 Feral Rages, and his hero power is going to keep chipping away at my health. So now we just fight for board control with the Mulch into the Ancient of War. Now Deadly Shot is a 50-50, and even if he does hit the 50-50, we've still got something to combat whatever he puts on the board. So that's good. And we actually have lethal here if he can't kill anything. The first Hunter that I've seen in a really long time, and I guess it's for a good reason. Unfortunately, Hunters aren't in a really good spot right now. Oh. Oh. That is oh my god. That is a crazy hand. Actually considering keeping the Druid of the Claw as well. We have Jade Idol into Wild Growth into Jade Blossom. That's so much mana. Yeah, I think I am going to keep that. I don't want to risk throwing this Druid of the Claw back and then getting something that's really useless after pumping up my mana so heavily. Like if I throw this back and then I'm getting like a Living Roots followed by a Feral Rage or something, then it's like, what am I doing? So we're 100% playing this guy. You know what, after drawing the Innovator, I should have thought about that a little bit more, I think. Actually, there's nothing to think about that. It's still the best place to innovate out the Wild Growth now. Because then next turn I can play the Jade Blossom, then the turn after I can go perfectly into the Druid of the Claw while keeping my coin. I guess it was worth considering if I should just coin out with the Wild Growth then go Jade Blossom, but I think it's still better to start pumping out my Jades. Yeah, then I can go Druid of the Claw into Jade Behemoth. It's pretty crazy. So, it might not be an aggro warrior. It actually seems like it's not an aggro warrior. I don't know many aggro warriors that would pass turn 1, turn 2, not have a single play. Nah, it's not a This is a absolutely crazy curve.
Where shall I strike?
I don't think it matters if I play the Jade Behemoth there or the Druid of the Claw, so we'll just play the Druid of the Claw then. It's definitely better to play the AR because of Brawl, so that when he does Brawl, we're left with something on the board. It's really nice.
What now?
Trades that in there, okay. There we go with this play. I maybe played that a little bit too fast. It was probably better to play Jade Behemoth there just because this guy trades into my AO really well. That was a misplay. Super good for us that he did this first because now we can't actually trade into here without clearing this. So that was really bad on his part. And now we have perfect mana with coin next turn to hero power this down after we trade this in. Now the only thing that's left is to hope we draw into an Azadrake, a Wrath, or a Nourish. So 6 out of 22 cards. Okay, so we're not going to play the Jade Behemoth for the same reason previously. Brawl is a card. It's nice that we get to keep this guy at 1 health, but we're going to draw first. Go Rage, that's fine. With this guy, obviously we want to keep everything alive. I mean, we've already made the decision now. I was just thinking, Sleep with the Fishes is a card. It means if we trade this into the 3/3, then Sleep with the Fishes deals 3 damage to every damaged minion, which means this dies now. So it may have been worth to trade this off into the 3/1 and then trade this in the 3/2, so that this is left on 3/1 after Sleep with the Fishes. There's the Brawl. That's why we didn't play this guy. It's probably the worst outcome, but yeah. What can you do? Now, let's pray that he doesn't have the other Brawl, right? So I'm going to coin out this Jade Blossom. And we're going to push for damage. Hope he doesn't have that second Brawl. I mean, what? Like, is there only drawn 9 cards out of the entire deck? That would suck. Now we can't play it, so it's good. Most likely a Shield Slam here. Maybe? Maybe a Shield... Okay. Play this guy. Draw first. Living Roots. We're going to hedge our bets and say that he isn't going to draw Brawl in the next 2 or 3 turns and try and push for lethal as quickly as we can. The Fell Rage, that's also a 4 damage burst, I would call it. We could have obviously kept the Living Roots and traded something in. But this way, like, our whole board still doesn't die to Sleep with the Fishes. So it's really nice to keep all these guys at full health right now. Some execute maybe? Double bash, okay. So the Nourish I think is pretty much game over now. I don't think he can win anymore. We're going to use the Wrath as well for a little bit more cycle. We're going to use the Living Roots and then Hero Power. So trading this guy in means it dies to Sleep with the Fishes or just a bit of a weapon damage as well, anything like that. And then trading this guy in also means it dies to Sleep with the Fishes. So basically we're just playing around his removal here. Because this is what this deck is, right? We just played it in a previous video. We know we know everything that's going on here. And basically, when it all comes down to it, this deck, it's nearly impossible for this deck to beat a Jade deck, right? It's just... So what do we have here? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'm not even going to count. I just think that is lethal. Go here and Hero Power and go charging. So there we go. So we're going to get rid of the Wrath because I think if it's Aggro Shaman, Wrath doesn't do enough. enough. Sorry. I think if we are going to Wrath to draw a card, then why not just throw a card away and look for a better card anyway? So I think it's a little bit more important here to get the wild growth out instead of hero powering. Is that way we can hero power? Yeah, I still think this is correct. Okay. It's really tempting to play the Living Roots here for two different dudes, but I think with the 5-drop and the 5-drop next turn and the Azure Drake in my hand, I want to be able to try and hit the Living Roots for an extra spell damage, I think. It might be not too bad. Obviously going for the Druid of the Claw here. Trades this guy. What was that? Oh, that was unfortunate for the dude.